Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get through a few news topics. Trump meeting with President Xi in 4 weeks. Make soybeans top priority in his discussion and in his Truth Social posts. Manitoba harvest is nearing 72% complete. I'm going to maybe just question that just a little wee bit as we get into that. Just Here's the Truth Social post that he put out. Soybean farmers of our country are being hurt because China is negotiating for negotiating reasons only, not buying. So they haven't bought anything so far this crop year for the fall, and that's when they normally buy. And it's definitely putting a great big block on a good portion of their exports that are expected to go to China. And you can see here he's pumping the base, of course, as well. You can see that he's love our patriots, and every farmer is exactly that. And being with President Xi of China in 4 weeks, soybeans will be a major topic of discussions because it is an issue that he knows it's going to hurt his base. So that's what President Xi is doing. You can see here as well just a little bit more details on the meeting or where he came up with this, and yet you can see it didn't even indicate to me sales were imminent from one of the people that were at following some of the Tuesday U.S. ambassador to China, but the discussion was more we need to keep the pressure on until we get sales, and yet the tweet came out. It actually made the market move up, and I'll show you that the last time he did something, suggesting that they should be buying, the market actually did improve after a bit on canolas or on the soybeans, and then canola followed as well. Right now, we're buying from South America. That's the Chinese ambassador saying, and I truly do not know if it's going to come to the U.S. As of right now. They could put some pressure on it, but both countries are getting hurt with this trade, and if there's a way to solve it, it's self-imposed hurt. So soybean market holds steady. So the market did actually recover back to the initial area that it had started making its losses. Palm oil moved up with soybean oil as well, and we'll see that on the charts here. This is 72% harvested. Canola is at 76% in the province, but in the southwest, that's where the canola is the most delayed in harvest progress, and even on soybeans as well. But the one thing that I was going to point out here, they don't even have grain corn on here as a percentage of harvest, and that's increasing every year. And when you look at grain corn as a crop out there, it's maybe they're going to put it on the next tables, but I think there's significant amount of acres in there, so maybe this number is even wrong if it's not including corn itself. Just took this from left field a little wee bit here. So the information of the farm deliveries, not quite at the same pace as the 5-year, or even just right on the pace for last year. But you can see that the grain is coming to the market, and the crusher is still the majority of it. Which provinces are sending most of it to the elevator? Saskatchewan, a little bit in Manitoba, but Alberta is definitely got a big leg in there because their harvest is pretty well over there. And you can see here just their estimates is probably not far from expectation of where the canola is going to come in. It's going to be above average, because if you just look at these numbers here, that's a decreasing over the last 5 years. And if you take the 10 years, it's closer to 40 to 41 bushels to the acre 10-year average. But the other point that I'm going to make here is that you've got increased crush and increased or decreased exports, and a lot of that's to do with China. But the increased crush has to still find a home too, and with the decreased amount that's going into the renewable and the biodiesel space, is still going to have to find a home somewhere else. And I just don't have the confidence that the crushers are actually going to send it and find a home for it as of right now. Quick look at the weather. Just the GFS on the left and the European model on the right. They're still both showing moisture going through Manitoba and Saskatchewan. So it looks like quite unsettled weather for the next week. Rain showers passing through there fairly consistently. And here's a temperature ensemble, and I thought maybe I would just show you the difference that the GFS or GEFS, showing cold. It is cooling in the European model, but it shows extremely cold in the GEFS, and the European model is showing some still warm anomalies. So this is when I want, you can see that the weather models don't agree, but this is the one I would rather than the cold one, that's for sure. Oil seeds, or just have a look at the markets here. So canola is up $3.30 from its close at 610. Rapeseed is up $1 at 467. Soybean oil is up a quarter of a penny at 50.67. Palm oil is up 58 ringgits. Crude oil is down a quarter of a dollar per barrel at 61.53. Soybeans are basically unchanged at 3/4 of a penny up. And wheat is up a penny, just close to 2, and other wheats are up 1. And the Canadian dollar is just like that as well. So let's just have a look at it here. We're still way within this trend, still expectation that we could get to there, but you can see that I've got this pivot trend line here. The market got to that pivot trend line and traded higher, and with the volume pivot there as well, it actually looks like it's traded higher. So here's your volume pivot as well. And you can see the volume pivot actually come in, and it's actually even in the European rapeseed as well, and still trading below all the short-term moving averages. The relative price of European rapeseed to Canadian canola, it's 156 today. So in this range up here, you definitely encourage sales in other parts of the world because we are quite a bit cheaper than the European rapeseed if we're using European rapeseed as a benchmark. The 200-day moving average, very well respected on the soybean oil futures. And you can see here, this is the pivot here as well. It's way down here on the soybeans, so it never got anywhere close. Nice green day there, green candle for recovery. Currently trading right at the 8-day EMA, and the other time when Trump actually suggested that they should be buying is right there as well. Crude palm oil, nice reversal yesterday. Looks like it's going to actually trade up. Crude oil futures constantly bouncing off of this lower trend line here. And then when you look at the Harbor diesel, it's actually looking like it bounced off of that longer term pivot line as well. Here's your Canadian dollar. Looks like it traded at the pivot line, but it's still trading at that support line as well. US dollar index. Let's have a quick look at wheat. This is where it broke the trend, went down, and now trying to recover from its downward move. Fresh month maybe can be, and hope is not a good marketing plan, but the hope is that we're going to find a bottom here very soon and recover. I don't see that in the chart as of right now for any of these complexes. Here's your, you flash the Chicago, the Kansas, and the French are all making new lows. Corn futures, good recovery. It's actually a good looking reversal on there, but nothing is suggesting that it's still going to hold. You've got all your moving averages above the market here. We need it to trade probably around this 420 and stay above there. Live cattle, nice few days of green here. The same thing with the feeder cattle. And the hogs, your pivot trend line, it looks like it traded at it. Now, is it going to trade higher is the question. So there's a question mark here, crop production, if the government shutdown stays for as long as it did the last time, which was 35 days. Even that would put both of these in question, whether we're going to get any market direction from the USDA for reports. There's a lot of reports that are very likely not going to come out. There's not going to be the progress reports every week. Not likely to get CFTC numbers either, but the export numbers, I think, will still end up coming through. And that's all I have for you today.